Good morning. It is not Tuesday today, it's Wednesday. I'm Draze.
And I'm Kira. Wow.
You might want to, get going.
Get
So it
coffee.
get coffee, SpongeBob's
Or
coffee wine.
oh,
Did you
that
try
was
out coffee wine?
no. Uh, I have nothing to say to you
Okay.
anymore.
That's okay. We don't have to talk. We just have to talk to our viewers, however
I'd
small
rather
they
talk
may
to
be.
them than you.
That's fair. Um, so yeah, today is Wednesday. We didn't film on Tuesday because Zach was having a social life, and so that was good, and we applaud him for that. So
Yeah. Took the first few steps out of the house. Kind of scary, but
sometimes it's not good to be a shut-in. So
right.
okay, well this is going nowhere fast. Let's get on. How was not being a shut-in yesterday? Did you enjoy your day and your weeks and whatever?
Yeah, I watched one of my friends play Saints Row 4, which is it's it's really amazing, but it's just I don't know. It's really hard to just like if you think about the history of the game, it's you start out as just a random like hood gang and you're just like doing all like GTA kind of stuff with little bits of ridiculousness in there. And then the third one just went full on ridiculous with not just a gang anymore. You're like a multi-million dollar like media icon and stuff like that, but still a gang. But it just went 10 times, no, like 1,000 times more ridiculous. Just like, and and there's the fourth one where you're the freaking president. What did you get from just a freaking small town gang kind of thing into like the president of the United States fighting aliens? It's like I don't understand how it could have like transitioned to that point.
You know, just the progression of games,
Just
I
eventually
guess.
you'll just become president of the United States no matter what game you're making.
Yep, no matter what you do. It's
So
just
in
it's
Final
just
Fantasy, you're just the president of the United States now.
yeah,
Like a really long time ago, you were the president of the United
right.
States.
In
Just
mythology,
no
the
one, no
United
one
States
really knew.
existed.
No one knew that you were the president.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
always knew that Cloud was a president.
he just had
Always.
something,
There's
just
something
this
about it.
American vibe
Because he
about
wore
him or
black,
whatever.
like black suits. That's why.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh,
Okay.
very cool, I guess. I don't actually play Saints Row. Um,
You probably
so
shouldn't,
yeah,
knowing
I
you.
I probably really wouldn't enjoy it. So,
Hmm.
anyways, I really didn't do much these last couple of weeks, but
Oh, no, you're in my seat
I
now.
wanted to talk about
Shh.
the internets that I've been a part of and how incredible they are. So this person posted this nice inspirational Dr. Seuss quote, and it says, I'm going to read it. It says, "You
Okay.
know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams." It's got like a nice picture of like Cat in the Hat. And then our lovely friends of the internet post comments. And you
Oh
know,
no.
when they post comments, that they're not going to be as wonderful and inspirational as the original quote. So I decided we're going to read some of these comments.
Oh
This person
gosh.
said, I feel it too. It's called insomnia.
That's not okay.
Yep. And then this person said, falling in love itself definitely does not make the reality better than it was before. Quite the opposite. And guess where he posted that from?
Where?
ZCU Pilsen Fav. Yep,
What?
that's a place.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna click it.
Click it. Tell me where it is.
It looks like a college in Czechoslovakia.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, they have
He had bad romantic
bad.
experiences then.
What have we learned? Don't go to Czechoslovakia college to find love. So,
That's some sound advice.
yeah, I know.
Take heed.
Yeah, nice people of the internet trolling inspirational quotes. It's pretty much what I've dealt with, and that, and played video games, and nothing super exciting. I did have. Oh, maybe I should save this for later. We had some friends of my dad come over last night. You know that because you were on comms with me at the time, but
Yeah.
they brought up something, and we'll talk about that when we talk about gaming stuff. But pretty interesting how different generations see different things. So anyways, let's go on over to the weather. We've wasted enough time talking about absolutely nothing. Now we get into the important things of like how people are doing. So where are we going to the weather today, Kira?
Well, I had got a request from one of our viewers, Mom, sent me an email where we should go. So
Okay. Well,
zip code's like 97009. So
that's my favorite zip code. How did she know?
uh,
I'm gonna laugh if it's your house.
No, it's Boring, Oregon.
Boring.
Oregon.
Is it spelled like boring?
It's spelled boring.
So like,
Wow.
is there any weather at all?
Well, right now it's 70 degrees, which is pretty boring.
It's pretty normal.
No precipitation, no clouds, just the sun in the sky.
Oh my gosh. That's perfect.
It's this is like, I feel like this should be my hometown.
Can you check like the 5-day weather to see if it changes?
Okay.
'Cause I feel like it wouldn't change. Like every day it's 70.
Wow. Okay. So today mostly sunny. Okay. Now tomorrow it's pretty much mostly cloudy all throughout the next part of the week.
Oh, so today's actually an exciting day in Boring, Oregon.
It's mostly sunny.
The other days are all mostly cloudy and it's boring.
Yeah.
Today, go outside. Enjoy your day, Boring, Oregon, because you're not going to have another one like it for a long time.
And no one's getting any rain at all. That really sucks.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you like rain, I don't really love the rain, but that's probably why I live in California. We don't really get that much rain.
You just get people that cut you off. That's what you get.
Right. We have traffic, you have rain. So it's crazy. Like when it rains here, and like rain is like arbitrary, because when I got to Biola and people were from like, Colorado or Wisconsin, they're like, you guys call this rain? It's like mist. Well, yes, this is our rain. It's about as hard as it gets here. But people decide to drive, dumb when it rains on California freeways, and it's ridiculous. Plus, there's so much oil on our roads, you slide out all the time. It's pretty dumb.
Wow.
Come live in California, where we have cars and half rain.
And the rain just sprinkles on you like vegetables in a grocery store.
Exactly. Like we'd be good farm country if we had farms.
And if people were vegetables. Delicious vegetables. Anyway.
What I've always wanted. Okay. Let's move away from Boring, Oregon, because we're probably getting boring. Then again, our show's probably never super exciting. Going on to sports. The baseball disappeared during the White Sox-Royals game. Basically what happened...
Poltergeist.
That's what happened?
Poltergeist happened.
I was going to tell you what happened, but if you're just going to...
I say it's ghosts.
Okay. In the middle of the day. This wasn't a night game, just by the way.
Maybe they're active during the day, too. Maybe they're sporty kind of not ghouls, but ghosts. You know?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, if I was a ghost, I'd be a sporty ghost, like a hat.
Please don't ever die. Just
Okay.
with a hat.
Anyways, there was like two runners on, and then Irvin Santana, who's a pitcher for the Royals, he threw a fastball and he threw it bad, so it bounced, and then the catcher missed it and it bounced away, and it basically went through the wall, but it didn't like make a hole. Like the wall was made as like I don't know what it was, like some sort of like banner. So it went through the banner and just like got sucked in by the wall. Maybe I'll post this link on like our description so people can watch it. But it's crazy. So everyone's kind of just standing there, and the runners on base like start to jog to the next bases because they're not sure if they can advance. They don't want to be like out. So Paul Canercos like starts to jog in and kind of like stands on the plate and like goes like, what's going on to the umpire? And the umpire's just standing there. He's like, I don't know what to do, dude. You're safe. Just go stand in the dugout. Good job. So that was interesting. Yeah, I'll put maybe I should put these links. Since I talk about videos, I'll put the links in so people can enjoy them. Anyways, also a French footballer, which in France, that's soccer.
I was like, in my mind, I was just like, French football? I don't think that works.
Exactly. But it does work because it's soccer, because America had to rename it and make a new sport. I always wonder why they didn't just name football soccer and like save the confusion of everyone. Anyways, sometimes, this is what the article says, sometimes it's hard for fans and commentators to remember that footballers are people too, and not just fictional characters that solely exist for the amusement and derision. I don't know what that means. RTL Belgium's Stefan Pauwels had one of those moments during Chilori's 2-1 loss to KV Kortrijk. Gosh, that's why I don't follow French football, because I can't pronounce the team's names. Last weekend, when he told viewers that French strikers Harlem Gunner, known as, quote, Bison, end quote, was, quote, fat as a pig. He said he is 15 kilograms too heavy and is going nowhere. I think it's also funny how they use the term kilograms instead of pounds. Just
because they're different from
and
us.
Here's the shocker. This is going to surprise you.
Oh, man.
Grown here took offense to that comment.
Oh.
So especially since it was on television broadcast, so he consulted a lawyer and decided to stand up for himself while also trying to bring some good out of the situation. So
how can you just publicly ridiculed a person? How can good come of it?
Well, watch. Here you go.
Just like, well, I hate this guy, but we all have our flaws. Make it into some inspirational speech.
So he demanded that an apology should be made in public, and he would drop charges if Pauwels, who was the announcer, made a sizable donation to children's charity. And then Pauwels responded, and I might say he responded on Twitter. You know how Twitter works. We talked about that last week, how amazing celebrities are using Twitter for stupid things. He said, harsh, yes, that's football. Okay, I should have said a few too many kilos. My apologies to Bison. So really, what he said was, I still think I was right. I just don't want to be sued. That's what he said on Twitter.
But I'm going to get sued anyway, because I'm an idiot.
Unless I make donation to charity. Because I'm an idiot. Oh. Anyways, interesting stuff. We're going to move on with everything and go on to the high quality news of life, where people call 911 when Breaking Bad gets off the air.
Someone stole my meth show.
When I read this, I was like, what? So we're going to read this.
Why would you call 911? It's on the internet too, guys. Please.
So it says, calls placed to 911 are intended to be for emergencies only, kind of like what you just said. But that doesn't stop people from phoning the police line for their own personal crises. Police in Fairfield, Connecticut, that explains it. They're in Connecticut. Say that a cable outage in the area during the airing of the drama Breaking Bad on Sunday night resulted in a spate of calls. I don't know how many that is, but
I'll look it up.
okay, you look that up.
How much is a spate?
How much is a spate? I think like 18. That's what I'm
flood.
guessing.
A river flooding its banks, a sudden or heavy rainstorm.
That may be more than
calls
18.
Of angry people wanting their show about meth.
So the meth show, we could just call it that from now on.
The meth show.
Probably avoid copyrights.
What?
We're probably not allowed, unless Breaking Bad wants to sponsor us.
We're gonna make our own meth show. We're gonna call it Breaking Bad. That's when we get arrested.
Probably.
And stuff like that. So you can say the name.
Okay, I'll say the name. Anyways, the flood rainstorm of calls to the police from people who were outraged that they were missing their show about the chemistry teacher turned meth-making drug lord, Walter White. Doesn't that just sound like a drug lord name? Walter White?
Yeah. And the thing is this rainstorm of calls like Colorado rainstorm or California rainstorm?
That's true. It's probably whatever Connecticut gets. But I don't know if they have rain or not.
Do they have rain in Connecticut? Is there water?
Maybe next week we can look up Connecticut weather.
I guess.
So 911 responded saying, "We're receiving numerous calls regarding the Cablevision outage. This is neither an emergency or police-related concern. Please direct your inquiries to Cablevision." Goodness. I can't believe that it's not just like one person. It's multiple people call 911 when their TV show does not work. Like, why? Like, you think police cars come into your house are gonna help Breaking Bad come back on the air?
It's like, really, what can they do about it?
Nothing. Here's another one. Here, right under this. Police don't seem to see non-emergency 911 calls as a joke, obviously. A woman in New Hampshire was arrested over the weekend after police say she called the service to ask for a writing implement. Quote, "I just want a simple thing. A pen."
So they got arrested over calling for a pen.
Here's the rest of the conversation. "You want a pen?" the dispatcher asked. "You dialed 911 because you want a pen. What makes this an emergency, Jenny? You do realize that it is definitely not an emergency. You're dialing 911, you're tying up a 911 line, so you're tying up people who actually have emergencies because you need a pen."
Ouch.
No, people are dumb.
Yep.
And that's the news for today.
So, long story short, people are dumb.
Long story short, don't call 911 unless, you need the police. Call someone else. Call your mom. Call your grandma if, you need a pen or you need your meth show back on.
You call your mom for your meth show?
I guess so. That probably, depends what kind of mom you have.
Depends on what kind of meth show you're looking for.
It's true. It's true. Okay, let's go on to our gaming news of our wonderful exploits that we have done throughout the week. Gara, what has happened to you in the gaming world?
Let's think about that. You should come to me later because you're probably more prepared.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I logged into Star Wars The Old Republic the other day, and on map chat, they were discussing who was more attractive, Padme or Princess Leia. And that conversation could only be taking place on a SWTOR game because that doesn't happen, just in life. Also, Guild Wars is pretty crazy because now there are Zergs, You might be asking, what is a Zerg? A Zerg is a bunch of people running around the map, killing the biggest things that you could find on the map. That's fun. If you play Guild Wars, you should play again. Guild Wars, if you want to sponsor us, that'd be cool too, for promoting your game. Also, as I was saying earlier, we had some of my dad's friends come over last night and they were talking and they heard us on comms and they were talking about how we use the term gank when we play League of Legends. And they said that when they were kids, the term gank meant to steal something, which I found was interesting. So now you know if you're stealing something, you're ganking it. Hey bro, gank that candy bar from Save-On.
Then you can call the police with, this kid's ganking my store up.
Exactly. That
Came
would be
out
an emergency.
Of nowhere and started ganking my stuff.
Started ganking it. Ganking everything. Anyways, that's my gamer news. League of Legends lingo from way back when, before League of Legends existed. What about you? You figure out anything?
Just me being on Guild Wars, doing the whole thing with the Zerg.
It's crazy.
It's just really funny with these commander people. Like, they paid like a certain amount of money or something. I don't know exactly. But they have a little symbol above their heads and on the map that say, oh, they're a commander, so you should probably follow them because they know their stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, it's just when when the commander leads you into a battle you can't win, then things get pretty funny.
Well, I'll tell you, there was people whining about one of the commanders. I guess one of the commanders at the Zergs was just farming the champions and not participating in the events. So he's leading a bunch of people like to the wrong place. And everyone's like, just ignore that commander. He's trolling. So dumb. Probably just someone who like had extra money to spend is like, I would be a commander, but I don't really care to lead people or like help them. I'm gonna just run around the map.
Yeah.
So
and the commander I was following got downed, and he's just like, "Hey, can you guys help me up, guys?"
No, we don't want to,
guys. And it's just our entire Zerg was downed, except for a few stragglers, just like trying to make their sifting their way out of the bodies, trying to like get to safety while champions pummeled them into the ground.
They're so brutal.
It was a scary moment. Just then I had to respawn without someone helping me up, and it's a terrible feeling.
It is. You feel like you have failed, but then you have another chance
until you die again. And then
you have another chance. But then you have to repair your armor, so that's the only penalty for death.
There is that one thing where it's like you get less health the more you're downed.
That's
or whatever.
True. Yeah, the down penalty or whatnot.
When does that get lifted?
I think just over time. I don't know. I'm not a commander, so I don't know.
You don't know anything about leading your people to die.
I just know I'm supposed to follow him around and kill things. It's pretty much how it works. When in doubt, kill things. That's how you play MMOs.
Just don't use that in real life.
Right, that's true. MMOs only, people. That stands for online games. Actually, that's not what it stands for. That's what it means. But anyways.
Just don't be serial killers and we're cool.
Don't be dumb. And don't make a meth show. Anyways, we're going to go on to the global gaming news. We're going to talk about the 7 innovative game consoles that didn't deserve to fail. Either way, the annals of gaming industry are home to a handful of devices that had good ideas and could have been standard setters. Yep. But died before they could achieve greatness. Think of them like the pre-Netflix arrested development of game consoles. Apparently, that's a thing. In better hands and in better times, maybe they would have wound up as widely beloved as the Atari 2600, Super Nintendo, or PlayStation 2, but they didn't. So, number 7... That's not number 7. Number 7 is the Fairchild Channel F, which was suffocated by Atari. I've never even heard of this.
I haven't heard of it either. Probably
Is
because it couldn't scream while it was being suffocated.
probably it kind of looks like a tape recording device. Says the Magnavox Odyssey feathered gaming consoles as we know them, and the Atari 2600 took the whole concept to the masses, but stuck in between the two was their awkward cousin, the Fairchild Channel F. In short, it was the first legitimately different console. It had interchangeable cartridges, dedicated microprocessors, and the ability to pause your game. Dude, revolutionary. Number 6. That's not number 6. Why can't they click on the right one? There we go. The Atari Lynx was too big to succeed. Smartphones and PSPs aside, the history of handheld consoles has traditionally gone a little something like this. Nintendo sells a lot of whatever it's selling. Everything else dies, which is fairly true when it comes to handheld things. The Lynx was released just after the Game Boy, and on a pure technical level, it blew the Game Boy out of the water. So it had 16-bit graphic processor. It could be cabled up to 17 other Lynxes for multiplayer games. That's a lot.
Whoa.
Considering this is like Game Boy era, 17 people. But the
But
problem was
that's like
probably there was no games to play with 17 other people.
that's like a odd number, you know? Like
17, it says 17 others, so I think 18 including the host or whatever.
wait.
But that is fairly
Is it
odd.
actually it is an odd number, not an even number. I was just saying
17 is
odd
odd.
as in like strange,
Oh, then yes.
but it's a
you're
happy
correct.
accident. Anyway,
Yeah, happy accident.
some teams are going to be unbalanced, but you know.
You know, that's life. Number 5, the Vectrex, burned with the great video game crash. Calling it a console is a little off. It's more like a miniature self-contained portable-ish arcade cabinet. That sounds fun. It's like one of those plug-and-play devices with a joystick. That's what it is. So Vectrex was different, so appealing, so it's always going to be limited. Blah blah blah. Okay, it flopped because it was bad. That's okay. TurboGrafx 16's advertising budget kept it down. I like how I haven't even heard of all these. This probably is. Well, this one is advertising, so nobody knew about it. It ran 2 8-bit processors. The TG16 was the first system to provide 16-bit looks, and its games ran conveniently on small cards rather than super big cartridges. That's cool. The SNK Neo Geo, that's a pretty dope name, provided too luxurious of an experience. The Neo Geo was truly a dream machine, as in unless you were very wealthy or borderline insane, the only way you were going to get one of these things was in your dreams. Because it costed $650 and $200 for each game.
Wow.
Yeah. And this is, back in the day when $200 was actually money. So, and then Panasonic, this is number 2, Panasonic 3DO was also just too expensive. It was $700 in a crowded market. But it was the first true 32-bit console, which is cool. And then your favorite, Sega Dreamcast. We all saw this one coming. Our glasses may get a little too rose-colored when we look back on Sega's last hurrah today, but there's no getting around the fact that the Dreamcast's death left a hole in our hearts. We know that you and the still active homebrew community that surrounds the system feel the same way. But okay, deep breaths. Let's all hold hands and get through this travesty one more time. Dreamcast made online gaming a thing. Despite existing for only 2 years, it had more classic games than you can shake a VMU at. Okay. It had ports. It had big name series like Sonic Adventure and honest to goodness original hits like Jet Set Radio and Shenmue. Sure. All these games were way ahead of their time from a technical standpoint. You can get all this and more for just $200. This was a decade-long slam dunk for any other company at the time. But late 90s Sega we're talking about, and Sony's PS2 juggernaut was about that time too. And so the two were never going to mix. Dreamcast had to go, but it really never should have gotten to that point in the first place. Well, now that we're all depressed about the Dreamcast, it's time to log off. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, we always try and give you the highest quality news here. I'm
now we're all
Draze.
depressed.
Oh.
I'm Kira.
And we're signing off. We'll see you sometime, probably in 2 weeks. That seems to be about when we do our next thing. And maybe we'll go somewhere less boring for the weather. All right, guys.
Oh, God.
Goodbye, internets. We'll see you later.